Hello, I'm Stephen Boylan. I'm one of the book buyers here at Eason, and you're all very welcome to the latest blog. And I'm honoured and delighted to welcome Donal Ryan, the author of The Theme About December, which has just been published by Chancellor Ireland. Donal, thanks very much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Your first book, Spinning Heart, was released in October last year, and since then you've won the Irish Book Award for Book of the Year, you've been longlisted for the Guardian First Book Prize, been longlisted for the Booker Prize, and now your second book, Theme About December, is just been released. So when do you think your head is going to stop spinning?
Yeah, it's been amazing, alright, actually. It's just kind of one thing after the other, yeah. And
Yeah.
the year was so busy, I haven't really had time to sit back and really think about it too much, which is maybe a good thing.
Mm-hmm. I know Theme About December was written before Spinning Heart was. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's different to The Spinning Heart in that it's a single narrative. It's in third person, but it's really written as a kind of exposition of the thoughts of a guy called Johnsey Cunliffe over a year of his life.
Right.
Johnsey's a bit of a loner, kind of a lonely, kind of friendless character at the start of the book, and he's very passive in what happens to him. And really, the book is just really 12 chapters, January to December.
Yeah, as you say, it's kind of a more linear narrative than Spinning Heart. The Spinning Heart was an absolutely incredible novel, as is The Theme About December. How did you decide how to write each of the books? I mean, at what point did you say Spinning Heart, this has to be written in 21 different voices, whereas The Theme About December is the one voice?
Yeah, I didn't think about it too much. I'd always kind of had it in mind to write a polyphonic novel. I didn't even know the word polyphonic at the time, but I kind of had the idea of writing a book of kind of chorus of voices where there was one kind of overarching narrative which was fed into by the individual voices.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try that, but I decided I better start, with a linear kind of more traditional form. So that's why I wrote The Thing About December first. And kind of thought, when I was finished, I'd like to describe that village again, but 10 years later, and through the eyes of the people living there.
Right. And again, I mean, it's been accomplished. The thing that kind of always strikes me about the books and your writing is how concise it is. It's almost kind of like John McGarren. When I read Spinning Heart first, John McGarren was the first name that kind of popped into my head when I was reading it. How much, I think it's the old cliche of writing is really rewriting. How many drafts do you do? Do you constantly tighten up your language, or is that just are we reading the first draft?
No, I do. I tend to write about 1,000 words at a time, and then to go back over 1,000 words for a few hours afterwards. I don't tend to rewrite full drafts from the start. I know a lot of writers do and swear by it, but for me, what works is to write about 1,000 words and then to go back and get that into proper shape.
Okay.
And then, when you finish the first draft, you always go back from the start again and do the same thing again, pretty much.
So it's constant.
It's kind of exhausting process, really.
Yeah. Keep going. The one thing that, again, Spinning Heart, I mean, I know you've written short stories, and obviously you've got your polyphonic novel and you've got The Theme About December. There's something about Spinning Heart that seems very theatrical because of the strong voices that are there. I mean, is that something that you would look at doing because it is so kind of dialogue driven that maybe theatre is something that you'd look at writing for next?
It has been adapted for the stage, actually. I did my own adaptation, and it's nothing to be pinned down, but Noel Pearson showed a bit of interest there in putting it on, so we'll see how it goes. Actually I enjoyed adapting it, but it's a book that could be adapted in a variety of different ways, I think. I did it as kind of dialogues mostly, so it was a change from the actual novel, but the heart of it is still the same.
Alright, okay. So is theatre something that you'd like to maybe look at doing an original piece for?
I'd love to, actually, yeah, and I've tried it, and again, it's like short stories. For years and years I could never write a short story that I was happy with, but I persevered. I think, with theatre it'd be the same,
We've just launched a new initiative in Eason called Book Bind, which is kind of a thing for book clubs, and what we're always about is recommending reads for people. So is there anything that you've read this year or recently that you think people have to read this?
Oh, what do I think now? Most recently, the novels I was most impressed by were The Ballad of Mo and G by Billy Keane, which I thought was fantastic. Red Sky Morning, Paul Lynch is unbelievable. Cold Life Heaven, Christian Boyrecki is amazing as well. Oh God, there are so many really, I could talk all day about Irish books.
But that's the thing, I was just going to say that it has been a fantastic couple of years for Irish writing yourself, and then you've got Kieran Collins and Paul Lynch, as you say.
Which is Kieran as well, actually. My stablemate Lilliput is amazing. Her book's called Between Dog and Wolf.
Yeah, fantastic, great. Well, thanks again for joining us. The Theme About December and The Spinning Heart are available on easons.com and also in store. And don't forget you can follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. See you again.